Hi everyone, you are watching Commerce King Academy. Today we will discuss last points of chapter number 1, which are major accounting terms and concepts, accounting principles and conventions of accounting. So let's move toward first and most important point, which is accounting terms, which are used in day-to-day operations of accounting by accountants or accounting personnel. First and most important accounting term, which is business entity. This is most important term, having explanation on forms of business entities or types of business entities, which are three in numbers. Business entity: each organization for which accounting is done is an independent entity, separate from its owners, managers, customers, creditors, and all other persons and entities with which it deals. Forms or types of business organizations and entities. There are three types of business entities. First is single or sole proprietorship. Second is partnership. Third is joint stock company or corporation. We will discuss step by step. So start with the first, single or sole proprietorship. A sole proprietorship is an business with only one owner who pays personal income tax on profits earned. Sole proprietorship are easy to establish and disseminate due to lack of a government involvement, making them popular with small business owners and contractors. There are some advantages of single or sole proprietorship. Single owner, easy to set up, no profit sharing, high private privacy, advantage of tax, less capital required, direct interaction with customers, provide employment opportunities, social benefits, easy in dissolution. Some has disadvantages in comparisons of advantages. First disadvantage is limited capital. Second is unlimited liability. Third is lack of continuity. Fourth is limited size. Fifth is lack of managerial expertise. After the clarification of first point, now we move toward second point, which is partnership. Partnership is a specific kind of legal relationship. Business partnerships are formed by the agreement between two or more individuals to carry on a business as a co-owners. There are some types of partnership. First is general partnership. Second is limited partnership. Third is limited liability partnership. Fourth is limited liability limited partnership. So we will discuss the types of partnership in some detail. First is general partnership. General partnership is a form of partnership in which the partners are all liable for the activities of the partnership. In a general partnership, active owners, called general partners, have unlimited liability for all business debts. Second type of partnership is limited partnership. A limited partnership is a business entity that consists of one or more general partners whose responsibilities include daily management of the company and one or more limited partners who do not participate in management. General partner may be an individual or an entity, such as corporation. For example, the limited partners in a real estate limited partnership are the passive investors. They contribute capital to the partnership to earn a return on their investment. These partners benefit from having limited liability in the investment. Third type of partnership is limited liability partnership. Limited liability partnership, all of the owners have limited personal liability for the financial obligations of the business. A limited liability partnership is a partnership in which some or all partners have limited and their limited liabilities. If therefore can exhibit elements of partnerships and corporations. In a limited liability partnership, each partner is not responsible for or liable for another partner's misconduct or negligence. For more understanding, you can set up, incorporate a limited liability partnership to run a business with two or more members. Each member pays tax on their share of the profits, as in ordinary business partnership, but is not personally liable for any tax the business cannot pay. Dear students, the fourth and last type of partnership is limited liability and limited partnership. And limited liability, limited partnership may be formed when a group of investors gets together and builds a project such as hotel, party, apartment, community or commercial building. The investors are often more satisfied knowing they are not liable for the partner's debt and can only lose what they invested. A good way to remember the difference between an limited liability partnership and limited liability limited partnership is that an limited liability partnership is a type of general partnership with limited liability protection. In contrast, an limited liability limited partnership is a limited partnership where both sets of partners receive limited liability protection. After the clarification or discussion on first type of the business entities, single or sole proprietorship and partnership, we will move toward third point of business entity, which is joint stock company or organization. A joint stock company is a business entity in which shares of the company's stock can be bought and sold by shareholders. Each shareholder owns company stock in proportion, evidenced by their shares. Shareholders are able to transfer their shares to other without any effects to the continued existence of the company. There are some features of joint stock company or corporation. First is separate legal entity. Second is perpetual succession. Third is number of members. Fourth is limited liability. Fifth point is transferable share. Sixth is incorporation. There are some types of joint stock company. First one is charter company. A charter company is an organization or association with investors or shareholders that is incorporated and granted rights by a royal charter for the purpose of trade. Chartered companies were commercial organizations that enjoyed special privileges granted by the state, usually encapsulated in a royal charter. Most chartered companies were formed by investors seeking to exploit commercial opportunities in a particular branch of trade, frequently with a specific part of the world. Second type of joint stock company is statutory company. Statutory corporations or companies are public enterprises brought into existence by a special act of parliament. The act defines its powers and functions, rules and regulations governing its employees and its relationship with government departments. It is a corporate person and has a capacity of acting in its own name. Statutory corporations are body corporates formed by a special act of a parliament or by the central state. Statutory corporations are body corporates formed by a special act of parliament or by the central or state legislature. It is fully financed by the government. Examples include Air India, State Bank of India, Life Insurance Corporation of India. The third type of joint stock company is registered company. A registered company is an organization which is formed and registered with the appropriate statutory authority of the country as a company or corporation in accordance with the corporate and securities law of that country. Hindustan Lever Limited, Procter and Gamble are examples of registered companies. After clarification of first accounting term, which is business entity, now we are going on next accounting terms. The second and next accounting term and goods. Merchandise, often called inventory, is a good or product that a retailer purchases and intends to sell for a profit. Anything that is on the sales floor for sale is considered merchandise because it's a product that they are hoping to sell to customers for a profit. The third term purchases. Purchases in accounting is the cost of buying inventory or goods during a period with the aim to resell in the ordinary course of business. Hence, purchases is a kind of expense and it is therefore included in the income statement within the cost of goods sold. Cash purchases. Cash purchases are happened when entity make a purchase of goods or renders the services and then make the payments by cash immediately. Most of the business prefer to make the payments by banks transactions so that the fraud case might be minimized. Purchases on account or on credit. On account is an accounting term that denotes partial payment of an amount owed or purchase or sale of merchandise or services on credit. On account can also be referred to as on credit. The next term is outward or purchases returns. Returns outwards are goods returned by the customer to the supplier. For the supplier, this results in transactions. A debit reduction in revenue in the amount credited back to the customer. Return outwards or purchases returns are goods returned by a customer to the seller. They are goods which were once purchased from external parties. However, because of being unsatisfactory, they were returned back to them. They are also called purchase return, purchases or sales discount. A purchase discount is a reduction that a company may receive if the supplier offers it and the company pays the supplier's invoice within a specified period of time. A supplier offering the discount will record the discounts taken by its customers in the account sales discounts. The eighth term, allowances in the context of sales and purchase. A sales allowance is a reduction in the price charged by a seller due to a problem within a sold product or service, such as quality problem, a short shipment, or an incorrect price. Thus, the sales allowance is created after the initial billing to the buyer, but therefore the buyer pays the seller. After the discussion about sales allowances, in same we will talk about purchases aspects. A reduction in the cost of goods purchased that is granted by a supplier without the physical return of the goods. Also, a journal ledger account in which the purchase allowances are recorded under the periodic inventory method. So guys, what are the sales in the context of accounting operations? Sales in accounting is a term that refers to any operating revenues that a company earns through its business activities, such as selling goods, services, products, for etc. With accrual accounting, revenue is recorded as sales if the goods or services have been delivered to the customer. Next is cash sales. Cash sales are sales made against cash. It is where the seller receives the cash consideration at the time of delivery. Unlike credit sales, cash sales do not result in accounts receivable. Sales involving direct, immediate transfer to the seller, bank account, or payments through credit cards or are also cash sales. Credit sales. Credit sales are purchases made by customers for which payment is delayed. Delayed payments allow customers to generate cash with the purchased goods, which is then used to pay back the seller. A downside of credit sale is the risk of bad debts or losses. Return inward or sales return. If goods are found defective, unsatisfactory, or excess in quantity, they are returned by buyer. It is called sales return or returns inward. A trade discount. A trade discount is the amount by which a manufacturer reduces the retail price of a product when it sells to a reseller rather than to the end customer. The seller would not record a trade discount in its accounting records. Instead, it would only record revenue in the amount invoiced to the customer. Accounts receivables or debtors. A debtor is someone who owes you money, normally because you have invoiced them for goods or services supplied. The process of managing debtors is often referred to as accounts receivables. Accounts receivables refers to the outstanding invoices a company has or the money clients owe the company. Furthermore, accounts receivable are current assets, meaning the account balance is due from the debtor in 1 year or less. Accounts payables or creditors. Creditors are peoples or organizations to whom you owe money are called creditors. Creditors are people or organizations to whom you owe money are called creditors, just like banks. The process of managing creditors is often referred to as accounts payable. Accounts payables is the amount of short-term debt or money owed to supplier. Accounts payable is the amount of short-term debt or money owed to suppliers and creditors by a company. Accounts payable are short-term credit obligations purchased by a company for products and services from their supplier. What is cash discount? Cash discounts refer to an incentive that a seller offers to a buyer in return for paying a bill before the scheduled due date. In a cash discount, the seller will usually reduce the amount that the buyer owes by either a small percentage or set dollar amount. The next term is capital or owner's equity. The next term is capital or owner's equity. Equity also known as owner's equity is the owner's share of the assets of a business. Assets can be owned by the owner or owed to external parties, liabilities or debts. See our tutorial in the basic accounting section. Capital is the owner's investment of assets into a business. The next accounting term is assets. An asset is a resource with economic value that an individual, corporation, or country owes, or country owns, or controls with the expectation that it will provide a future benefit. Assets are reported on company's balance sheet and are bought or created to increase a firm's value or benefit the firm's operations. A liability is something a person or company owes, usually a sum of money, recorded on the right side of the balance sheet. Liabilities include loans, accounts payable, mortgages, deferred revenues, bonds, warranties, and accrued expenses. Next is accounting period. An accounting period is a period of time that covers contain accounting functions, which can be either a calendar or fiscal year, but also a week, month, or a quarter. Accounting periods are created for reporting and analyzing purposes, and accrual method of accounting allows for consistent reporting. Next is revenue and its types. The term revenue refers to the income obtained by a company through the sale of goods at different prices. In other words, the revenue of a firm is its sales, receipts, or income. There are two types of revenues: operating revenues and non-operating revenues. What is expenses and its types? An expense in accounting is the money spent or costs incurred by a business in their effort to generate revenues. Cost is the monetary measure, cash, that has been given up. An expense is a cost that has expired or been taken up by activities that help generate revenues. An expense is the cost of operations that a company incurs to generate revenues. As the popular saying goes, it costs money to make money. Common expenses include payments to supplier, employees' wages, factory leases, and equipment depreciation. There are further types of expenses: cost of goods sold, operating and selling and administration and general expenses, financial expenses, extraordinary expenses, and non-operating expenses. What is net profit or net income in the context of accounting operations? Profit simply means the revenue that remains after expenses. It exists on several levels depending on what types of costs are deducted from revenues. Net income, also known as net profit, is a single number representing a specific type of profit. Net income is a renowned bottom line on a financial balance sheet. A balance sheet is a financial statement that reports a company's assets, liabilities, and shareholders' equity at a specific point in time and provides a basics for computing rates of return and evaluating its capital structure. It is a financial statement that provides a snapshot of what a company owns and owes as well as the amount invested by the shareholders. What is book value? The accounting value of the company's assets less all claims senior to common equity such as companies. The term book value derives from the accounting practice of recording asset value at the original historical cost in the books. The book values of assets are routinely compared to market values as part of various financial analysis. For example, if you bought a machine for $50,000 and its associated depreciation with $10,000 per year, then at the end of the second year, the machine would have a book value of $30,000. Equity represents the shareholders' stake in the company, identified on a company's balance sheet. The calculation of equity is a company's total assets minus its total liabilities and is used in several key financial ratios such as return on equity. Inventory refers to all the items, goods, merchandise, and materials held by a business for a selling in the market to earn a profit. For example, a newspaper. If a newspaper vendor uses a vehicle to deliver newspapers to the customers, only the newspapers will be considered inventory. The vehicle will be treated as an asset. Liability under International Financial Reporting Standards. Liabilities are defined as present obligation of the entity arising from past events, the settlement of which is expected to result in an outflow of the entity's resources. International Accounting Standard 37 defines a provision as a liability of uncertain timing or income statement or profit and loss statement. A profit and loss statement or income statement or profit or statement of operations is a financial report that provides a summary of a company's revenues, expenses, and profit or losses over a given period of time. The profit and loss statement shows a company's ability to generate sales, manage expenses, and create profits. An income statement is a financial statement that shows you the company's income and expenditures. It also shows whether a company is making profit or loss for a given period. The income statement, along with the balance sheet and cash flow statement, helps you understand the financial health of your business. Cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold is the cost of a product to a distributor or retailer. Sales revenue minus cost of goods sold is a business gross profit. Cost of goods sold is considered an expense in accounting and it can be found on a financial report called an income statement. Cost of goods sold is listed on the income statement beneath sales revenue and before gross profit. The basic template of an income statement is revenues less expenses equals net income. The cost of goods sold formula is calculated by adding purchases for the period to the beginning inventory and subtracting the ending inventory for the period. Actually, cost of goods sold is the accounting term used to describe the expenses incurred to produce the goods or services sold by a company. Examples of what can be listed as cost of goods sold include Examples of what can be listed as cost of goods sold include the cost of materials, labor, the wholesale price of goods that are resold. Dear students, cost of goods sold is the accounting term used to describe the expenses incurred to produce the goods or services sold by a company. Examples of what can be listed as cost of goods sold include the cost of materials, labor, the wholesale price of goods that are resold, such as grocery stores, overhead, and storage. What is depreciation in accounting term? Depreciation in accounting refers to two aspects of the same concept. First, the actual decrease of fair value of an asset, such as the decrease in value of factory equipment each year as it used and wears. And second, the allocation in accounting statements of the original cost of the assets to periods in which the assets are used. Depreciation is thus the decrease in the value of assets and the method used to reallocate or write down the cost of tangible asset such as equipment over its useful life span. Businesses depreciate long-term assets for both accounting and tax purposes. Businesses depreciate long-term assets for both accounting and tax purposes. The decrease in the value of asset affects the balance sheet of a business or entity, and the method of depreciating the asset accounting wise affects the net income and thus the income statement that they report. Generally, the cost is allocated as depreciation expense among the periods in which the asset is expected to be used. Methods of computing depreciation and the periods over which assets are depreciated may vary between asset types within the same business and may vary for tax purposes. These may be specified by law or accounting standards, which may vary by country. Depreciation expense generally begins when the asset is placed in service. For example, a depreciation expense of 100 per year for 5 years may be recognized for an asset costing 500. Depreciation has been defined as the diminution in the utility or value of an asset and is a non-cash expense. It does not result any cash flow. It just means that the asset is not worth as much as it used to be. Causes of depreciation are natural wear and tear. Dear students, normally there are four methods are used by the organizations, which are straight line method, declining balance method, sum of the years digit method, and units of production method. Next, gross profit margin or gross profit. Dear students, gross profit margin is a company's net sales revenue minus its cost of goods sold. In other words, it is the sales revenue a company retains after incurring the direct cost associated with producing the goods it deals or sells and the services it provides. A company's gross profit margin percentage is calculated by the first subtracting the cost of goods sold from the net sales. Gross revenues minus returns, allowances, and discounts This figure is then divided by net sales to calculate the gross profit margin in the percentage term. Gross profit margin is your business net sales minus your cost of goods sold. Basically, gross margin is the revenue your company has after incurring direct cost from producing your goods or services. For example, if your gross profit margin is 40%, you are earning 0.4 dollar for each dollar of revenue you margin or net profit margin. Net profit margin, also known as profit margin or net profit margin ratio, is a financial ratio used to calculate percentage of profit a company produces from its total revenue. It measures the amount of net profit a company obtains per dollar of revenue gained. The net profit margin is equal to net profit, also known as net income, divided by total revenue. The typical profit margin ratio of a company can be different depending on which industry the company is in. As a financial analyst, this is important in to know a financial analysis by three profitable ratios. First is gross profit ratio, second is operating profit ratio, final and last is net profit ratio. What is allocation of assets, diversification, or rebalancing? Even if you are new to investing, you may already know some of the most fundamental principles of sound investment. How did you learn them? Through ordinary real life experiences that have nothing to do with the stock market. For example, have you ever noticed that street vendors often sell seemingly unrelated products such as umbrellas and sunglasses? Initially, that may seem odd. After all, when would a person buy both items at the same time? Probably never. And that's the point. Street vendors know that when it's raining, it's easier to sell umbrellas but harder to sell sunglasses. And when it's sunny, the reverse is true by selling both items. In other words, by diversifying the product line, the vendor can reduce the risk of losing money on any given day. If that makes sense, you have got a great start on understanding asset allocation and diversification more carefully, and will also discuss importance of rebalancing from time to time. Let's begin by looking at asset allocation. Asset allocation involves dividing an investment portfolio among different asset categories. For example, do not all apples in one basket, such as stocks. You can purchase stocks, bonds, and cash. The process of determining which mix of assets to hold in your portfolio is very personal one. The asset allocation that works best for you at any given point in your life will depend largely on your time horizon and your liability to tolerate risk. What is cash flow? A cash flow statement is a financial statement that summarizes the amount of cash and cash equivalents entering and leaving a company. The cash flow statement measures how well a company manages its cash position, meaning how well the company generates cash to pay its debt, obligations, and fund its operating expenses. A cash flow statement is a financial statement that provides aggregate data regarding at cash inflows of a company receives from its ongoing operations and external investment sources. It also includes all cash outflows that pay for businesses, pay for business activities and investment during a given period. Certified public accountants. Certified public accountant is the title of qualified accountants in numerous countries in English speaking world. It is generally equivalent to the title of chartered accountant in other English speaking countries. In the United States, the CPA is a license to provide accounting services to the public. They act as consultants on many issues, including taxes. What are the terms debit or credit? There are few theories on the origin of abbreviations used for debit and credit in accounting. To explain these theories, here is a brief introduction to the use of debits and credits and how the techniques of double entry accounting came to be. A Franciscan monk by the name of Luca Pacioli developed the technique of double entry accounting. Pacioli is known as the father of accounting because the approach he devised became the basis for modern day accounting. Pacioli warned that you should not end a workday until your debits equals your credits. This reduces the possibility of errors of principle. The term debit and credit have Latin roots. Debit comes from the word debitum, meaning what is due, and credit comes from the creditum, meaning something entrusted to another or a loan. An increase in liabilities or shareholders' equity is a credit to the account. A decrease in liabilities is a debit. Using a double entry method, bookkeepers enter each debit and credit in two places on a company's balance sheet. Thanks for watching this video. If you like, then subscribe, share and comment. Thank you all.